words can read. Hey guys, it's Katie. Welcome to another video, and in today's video I'm going to be bringing you guys my favourite books of 2018. So happy new year to you guys. It's now 2019, so I just wanted to share with you guys my favourite books of the year. I honestly didn't think that I was going to find so many because I didn't read that many books in 2018. However, I was actually lucky to find that I did read a load of books that I did enjoy, so that's really good as well. So in total this video I have 10 books to share with you. They're going to be in no particular order because I don't have an ultimate favourite of the year. I liked all these books the same in all different ways. So without further ado, let's get started with my list. So I'm actually going to be talking about two books first because they're by the same author and they are in the same universe, and that is Letters to the Lost as well as More Than We Can Tell, both by Brigid Kemmerer. So Letters to the Lost is the first book, and this is about Juliet, who writes letters to her dead mother every day. One day we have this guy called Declan who is doing some work at the graveyard, and he discovers one of these letters and he reads it and then he replies to it, and thus starts this friendship. And it's just a really blossoming friendship where we just learn about both characters and just how they just have their secrets and the darkness that's in them and just how they help each other. And I just thought it was a very beautiful story and I really enjoyed it, and that is why this book is one of the books that are on my best books of 2018. And then we have More Than We Can Tell, which is the sequel spin-off. And it's about Reve, who is the best friend of Declan from the first book, and this is about Reve and Emma. So Emma is quite geeky, she sort of like spends her time on computers, but Reve has a sort of like dark childhood. He receives this letter from his abusive father that he doesn't know what to do with. So these two characters end up meeting and they obviously both have their dark secrets, and it literally is just about these two characters getting together and just helping each other. And I love books like that, just how they help each other with their past, with their secrets and with everything, and how they change into different people. And really it's just such a beautiful story. I totally recommend both of these books for you guys to read, and Brigid is just an amazing writer. She's fantastic, she's one of my favourite authors. I auto buy her books now because she's incredible, and I can't wait to actually start reading her other books just to see what those are like, because I know she has written some other different kinds of books. But yeah, these two are just two of my favourite books of 2018. My next favourite book of 2018 is Sadie by Courtney Summers. Now this is probably on a lot of people's favourite lists of the year because it was an amazing book, so it was very hyped up and I was just like, I really want to read it. I jumped at the sound of it being a podcast and that the audiobook was really good, so I listened to the audiobook of it, and I totally recommend for you guys to do that. It's just the best way to read this book, by listening to the audiobook, because the book reads like a podcast. So for it to have a full cast on the audiobook is the best way for it to go. So the general storyline is that this is about Sadie, who's the older sister, and her younger sister goes missing one day, and so she embarks upon this journey to try and find the person who abducted her sister and everything. And there's this podcast of these sort of like detectives who are trying to sort of solve it as well, and they're sort of chasing after Sadie because then Sadie goes missing, and it's just a real awesome mystery. And just the ending, my goodness, that ending, like, just that's all I'm gonna say about the ending because I don't want to spoil it for you guys. I just want you to give it a read. It's so worth the read. If you really like your thrillers and your mysteries, definitely go for it. I really enjoy mysteries actually. I need to read more of them because I'm finding I'm actually really enjoying just reading them and experiencing them. So if there's any other like thriller recommendations that you really enjoyed, let me know down below because I would definitely scout them out. But yeah, this book, so good. My next favourite book of 2018 is A Sky Painted Gold by Laura Wood. So this book I actually started reading when I first got it actually, and I don't tend to read a lot of historical fiction books, so I think that's why like I held back a bit. But I really honestly shouldn't have held back because I should have read it because it was really, really good. So I started reading it and then I stopped, and then when I jumped back into it I was loving it so much. So this is about a girl called Lou, and this book is set in the past, and she ends up like discovering this abandoned house. So they have like a bookshelf there, and she sort of like stays there. All of a sudden one night they come back and she's just like, oh my god, and just runs, and she ends up leaving her notebook there. And so the people that have come back, they discover this notebook, and when she tries to go and get it again, there's this party that's at this house, and then she is like in this tree just like watching these people from afar. They live like this magical rich life and she lives like the poor life. So she's sort of like watching this rich building with all these people, and then like one of the people who have returned, they are siblings, so it's brother and sister, and the guy discovers her in the tree and he's like, come along to this party, and she's like, oh my god. And so then this sort of relationship starts with Lou and these two siblings, like they become like best friends, and yeah, there is just sort of this like dark mystery, and we just don't know what's going on in the world. It's just sort of like mysterious and secret, and yeah, it's just truly magical, and it was so good. I love the ending so much. It was just everything that I needed. So more people need to give this book a read, because not a lot of people are talking about it, and I loved it so much. So please pick this book up, give it a read. I loved it so much. Oh, just so good. My next favourite book of the year is Clockwork Angel by Cassandra Clare. So I actually read this for the first time in 2018. I'd owned it for like a few more years since then, and I finally went into the world of the Infernal Devices, back into the Shadowhunter world again, and I love this book so much, and I can totally understand why everybody loves it. I just love every book that Cassandra Clare writes. I don't care what people say, if some people hate it or not. Like, this is just my opinion. I loved it so much. So this book, if you don't know, is about Tessa, who her brother goes missing, and so she goes and tries to find him. However, she ends up being kidnapped by these dark sisters, and this is all in London. And then we have the other shadow hunters, Jem and Will, and they are shadow hunters, and so they end up like trying to rescue Tessa. Oh, it's so good. Like, I love it so much. And Tessa learns that she is a downworlder and that she's got special abilities as well, so she is a part of this world, and there's just so many secrets. And Magnus Bane is in this book, and just and Camille as well. Camille's in this book too, and yeah, it's just I love it so much. My next favourite book of the year is Eve of Man by Tom and Giovanna Fletcher. So this is their first book that they co-wrote together. It's a young adult dystopian. It's a really interesting book actually. It's the first book that's in a series, so I can't wait for the next sequel. But this is about Eve, who, if you know the story of Adam and Eve, Eve is, in this book, the only female to have been born in like about 50 years. So she's very special, and so they obviously want to use her to sort of breed more humans, because she is like the first female. So she literally lives in this little bubble. However, she wants this freedom. And then we have this guy called Bram, who has the other alternative perspective of this book, who she has this little robotic friend, and Bram is one of the people that controls this robot, and there's like a couple of other people that control it, and she learns to find that Bram's controlling of this robot is the one that she's warming the most to. So they end up developing this really good friendship, and it's so good. So it's literally just about Eve wanting her freedom. Will she get it? Will Bram help her? I'm not going to tell you, I'm just going to tell you to read it. My next favourite book of the year is Before I Fall by Lauren Oliver, and this book was actually one of the first books that I read in 2018, and this I actually saw the Netflix film first, so it's on Netflix, and I loved it so much the first time that I watched it again, and then I watched it with a colleague at work, and yeah, I loved it. I really loved it. Loved the movie, and so I was like, hey, I've got the book to this, I'm going to give the book a read. So I read the book, and I actually really enjoyed the book too. And there are very slight changes, obviously, because it's a book to movie adaptation. However, the main plot and everything was there, which is what I just loved and enjoyed. And so this book is about this girl who one day she just starts falling asleep and then waking up to the same day every day. So she just goes to bed and wakes up, and she doesn't know what she's doing wrong, she doesn't know like what to change or anything. It's actually very similar to A Week of Mondays by Jessica Brody, which again is one of my favourite books of all time, and that is about this girl that just wakes up to Monday, and she's trying to find like, can she change something in order to get it back in order. And so in this movie she just tries different things. Like at first she's sort of like, what's going on the first few nights, and then she's like, let me try this, and then she just tries all sorts of different things. She tries being a really horrible person, tries to be a person that doesn't care, and then eventually she just develops into a really nice person, because when she starts off she's not the greatest person of all. Like you literally hate her character, but it's more about the character development in this book and what you realise and everything, and it's a very touching sort of book, and that's just why I loved it so much, and that's why it's on my list for 2018. My next favourite of the year is going to be Listen to Your Heart by Casey West, and this I ordered and I read straight away. I loved it so much, and this is a podcast style book, so it's based in the summer, and this is about Kate, and she does this podcast, and it's literally about advice. And one day they get this anonymous caller that's like asking advice for this girl, so she assumes that it's this like really hot guy, and I'm just gonna leave it at that, but it's just really good, because yeah, it's just so good. So this podcast, it's awesome, and there's a love to hate trope in this book, so if you love to hate, you'll enjoy this book. But I loved it so much, so yeah, definitely recommend this one. Two more left now, guys. I have Secrets to a Teenage Heiress by Katie Birchall. This is very close to like my ultimate favourite book of the year, because it was just so good. But like I say, I just loved all these books all the same in their own special ways. But this book was loved because it was just so hilarious. So this first book that's actually read by this author, she has written another series as well, and so this book is based in this hotel. So it's called Hotel Royale, and we have this girl character, and she is the daughter of her parents who own the hotel. They sort of like work there, and they have famous people come there. So one day they have this superstar, pop star stay there, and she somehow ends up bumping into this rock star, pop star, and it was like accidentally, but it's just so funny. So it's just like her stupid and funny life around this hotel, what she ends up doing and how she ends up doing it, and it's just so hilarious. It literally is like the Georgia Nicholson series by Louise Renison, but in a hotel. It's just so funny and hilarious, and I can't wait to read the next book that's in the series. But this book I totally recommend. The last book that I'm going to recommend as one of my favourite books of 2018 is Dry by Neil and Jared Schusterman. So I actually received this for review this year, and I started it straight away. It's a dystopian, as if like the world has run out of water, so they call it the tap out, and like the world is just going mad trying to get water. They're all going to the supermarkets and getting whatever they can in liquid form, and so her family get all these bags of ice, and people are like trying to fight them over it, and they just got to survive in this. They've got a next door neighbour that has been preparing for this for years, and then literally people are just turning into water zombies, and so they have to escape along with the other sort of like neighbourhood kids and the other kids that they find on this sort of road trip to try and find their parents, because their parents have one day just gone missing because the parents have gone off to try and find some more water and stuff. So they've gone and tried to find their parents. They're also trying to find water as well, and yeah, it's just sort of like a really interesting adventure that's just about this scary world that, you know, it could happen. Like, we literally could just run out of water any day. So it's scarily realistic, which is another reason why I really enjoyed it. And it's really interesting because it's literally, like I say, like zombie people. So instead of like having a virus going around, it's like no water and how we would act without no water. So yeah, it's so good and I totally recommend it. So there you have it, guys. Those are 10 of my favourite books of 2018. If you have read any of these books, then do let me know down below in the comments what you thought about them, and also let me know down below what are your favourite books of 2018, and I will be sure to check them out. If you have enjoyed this video, don't forget to give it a thumbs up. All of my social media links will be linked down below in the description if you'd like to follow me elsewhere. If you are new to my channel and if you'd like to see more of my videos, then please feel free to click on the subscribe button and hit the notification icon if you don't want to miss a video of mine, because I post videos all the time. But that's it from me, guys. Thank you very much for watching my video as always. Keep smiling, keep reading and be happy. My name is Katie and I'll see all of you wonderful awesome people in my next video. Bye!